Well, hey, welcome back, everybody. And I gotta tell you, rarely does a location make me say to myself, you're really, really out in the middle of nowhere. And if you break down, you're going to be camping out for 2 or 3 days, either trying to fix old Bob or hiking back to civilization. Yeah, this is one heck of a remote site, folks. And the road getting in here was many miles long, all filled with washed out cobble, and it was it was something else. Just the road into this place was an adventure. But anyways, so I found this on Google Earth. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at in front of us here. It may have been like an old trestle that came off the edge of that cliff and then dumped down into an ore bin right there. We've got some sort of a processing building right here. And then a moment ago, I glanced out of the corner of my eye off here to the right, and I believe that there is a steam boiler hiding up there in those trees. So let's kick things off with this, what used to be a processing building, which is all falling apart and scattered around. Lots of round nails, so we're not in the 1800s. Or actually, I should say wire nails. Yeah. Okay. I like to look around on the concrete. Sometimes you get lucky. You know, when you guys were kids and your parents poured a new foundation or patio or a porch or something, and you kids ran out there and you scratched your initials in it. Well, sometimes you can get lucky and find people's initials scratched in the concrete, but I'm not really seeing anything. Okay, see, I don't know if you can see it. There's an old steam boiler over there. I'll meet you folks over there. Yeah, it was a pretty darn rough road getting up here. It's adventures like this is when I wish I had about 2 or 3 more inches of suspension lift on old Bob. I was bouncing off of rocks, and it got pretty crazy there for a while. So look at what we have here: steam boiler, and yeah, this was used to boil water. You got your outlet there. One of them was for water coming in. The other one was for steam coming out. Now on this one here, I'm not seeing all those pipes that run on the inside. They may have been removed, so we're just looking at the outer shell of the thing. But many pieces of equipment back in the early 1900s that were used in mining were steam powered, steam driven, etc. Take a little closer look at this thing here. I have seen these things in so many different sizes and types and all the different places I've explored. And they all have these really cool cone-shaped dimpled rivets because they were manufactured back in the day before welding existed. Okay, so let's head back to old Bob. I gotta throw the backpack on my back, and then we're gonna work our way up to what looks to be that trestle and ore bin. Meet you over there. What do you say there, old Bob? You got a few more fresh scrapes on your belly, huh? He's probably not too happy with me right now. Okay, throw all this equipment on my back. There we go. This is one we've got to hike to. Let's see what we got going on up here. Let's go this way. Okay. Yeah, looks like some sort of an old ore bin with a loading area. And, oh yeah, we had a road here, so you could load up the trucks. And the thing has since collapsed and fell down. I would imagine at one time they had some sort of a trestle up here and maybe a long chute that brought it down to the hopper. All right, I saw something behind me here. Oh, cool. Take a look at this, folks. Look at this. We got a powder magazine. Looks that way. All right. I've got to get my handy dandy flashlight out of here first. There we go. Okay. Let's see what we have in here. You know me, I always enter these real slow just in case there's a rattlesnake hiding behind the wall. Well, we got a bucket of oil, a clamp, two more buckets of oil on the floor, a really old Coors can. See the top on that? That's early 70s. What's back here? Used to be some sort of a makeshift tool bin. Yeah, this was definitely powder storage. The reason I say that is because if you look up here, there's the vent. Remember I was saying I always put a vent in these storage magazines. What's this down on the floor? It looks like it used to be a seat out of some sort of a vehicle. What's that? Oh, old tin can. Huh. Okay. All right. Huh. Okay. That's all that's in here, folks. Let's continue working our way. Let's see, where should we go next? Well, we ain't going to climb up the rocks, so why don't I skirt around this direction? I'll meet you folks up top. I'll see you up there. Well, I didn't get too far up the hill. We've got some sort of an artifact hiding here in the sagebrush. Let's see what this is all about. What could it be? And I've never seen anything quite like it. Might have been a... I don't know, folks. I'm stumped on what that thing is. Okay, well, leave something down in the comments. Give me your best guess. What do you think that thing is? All right, I'm headed further on up the hill. Okay, so a moment ago we started things off down there by old Bob. There's the processing building. We were just in that little, we were in that Dynamite magazine right there, and we've got the trestle and ore bin right here in front of us. Okay, turning around. So somewhere, I'm guessing up here, it's got to be this direction, must be the adit or the shaft. And off to my left, way out in the distance, the military is doing maneuvers today. Every so often I hear a thump and a boom. They must be firing mortars or howitzers or dropping bombs or doing something. It's kind of cool. Aha. Well, here is where the adit would have been. Yep. Oh, come on, don't tell me it's going to be choked off. Look at that. Darn it all anyways. The opening isn't much bigger than my tennis ball. How are we going to get into that, folks? All right, raise your hands. Who wants me to dig? Oh, let me think. Hey, I can feel... Oh, we got nice cold air blowing out of there. You folks are going to make me dig this out, aren't you? Well, I didn't drive all the way up this nasty road to get to this location, not to explore and adit. And we've got air coming out of it. I guess maybe before I start digging, what I should do is go up top here and see if we have another, maybe an incline shaft coming down into it. Why don't we do that first? I'll meet you up top. Well, folks, we got lucky. I'm glad I walked up here. Now, I'm not 100% convinced that this one links into the lower one that's somewhat buried. But here's what we have. And that I can skinny into. Okay, I'm going to gear up and I'll be back in just a moment. All right, back again, folks. Got the safety flag out. All my equipment out here outside the portal. Let's explore this old mine. And the fun part's going to be crawling down into this thing. All right. Well, let's see, how are we going to do this? Well, the first thing, why don't we get rid of this big boulder? That would be good. Maybe. Holy cow, that's a heavy. There. And then, so what I'm going to have to do maybe if I'm going to try to go down. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's just my breath. See, even if you breathe into an O2 meter, it's going to go off. Yeah. Be quiet. Okay. Let's see if I... Oh, knock it off. That's just me breathing into the meter, folks, because I'm on my back. Ouch, that hurt. That's gonna leave a mark. Okay. Oh, be quiet now. Okay. Give me just a moment, folks. I gotta set the camera down, put my backpack on. There we go. Okay. There we go. make a few adjustments here. Give me 1 second. That's better. Okay. And right off the bat, we're going into layers of granite. We've got a vent pipe here in front of us, and look, it's one of those with the with that spiral wound with the rivets in it, just like we saw in the last episode. Looking at the ribs of the mine, it's all chattered up with pickaxe marks. Old can of spray paint. How old that is. Looks like probably from the 70s. Okay. Here we have a mine tag. Somebody came in here, was probably doing some survey work. And at one time, they did have rail in here, because look at, here's a baby. Here's a little tiny spike. Tells me they had rail. And we make a sharp turn to the left. Okay. And we have something above us and to the left. A little raise here. And look at how they gobbed the rocks up into that little raise looking thing. Huh. Okay. Decisions. We've got something going off to the left and that way and this way. All right, why don't we, oh, there's a nasty hanging rock above my head right there, folks. Let me get out from under this rock. Eeh. Oh, we have a stope. It goes up there. And they blocked it off with that wood. Okay, let's continue on. Oh, here we've got a big collapse. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's exit from that location quietly. I'm looking back up into that stoped area. And that's as far as it goes. Boy, this decomposing granite is so unstable. All right, let's continue on this way. Look at how narrow this is, folks. It's only about 2 feet wide here. just a piece of wood, and then that's where it ends. Okay, turn it back around. I can't even turn around in this mine. I gotta back out. At least not with my backpack on. That's how narrow it was. So what you're seeing here, folks, is exploratories. They went off that way to see if they could intersect with some sort of the vein that they were looking for, and they didn't get there. They didn't find it. All right, let's look up here. That's as far as that goes. And we have a winze that went down right there. But it's all filled in with stuff that has collapsed from above my head here. Okay, well, so this one did not intersect with that lower adit. But because there is rock falling down from higher up, tells me we may have another adit higher up, so we'll have to search more of the hill. Okay. All right, we're just headed back out. I'm taking you with me. And there's the exit. So, should I take you folks with me as I work my way back out of this thing? Why not? So I got to crawl on my belly again. There we go. And that's that one. All right, let's scratch around more higher up on this hill and see if there's any other adits hiding around here. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, folks, back outside. That was fun. Goodness, I gotta stop eating so many cookies. If I'm going to be squeezing through little tiny places like that, maybe we should change the name of this channel. Instead of Abandoned and Forgotten Places, let's change it over to Watch the Fat Boy Crawl into a Hole. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to work my way higher up this ridge line here and see if we can't find any more workings. So if I find something, I'll just meet you folks higher on up. Okay, see you up there. Okay, I worked my way a little bit higher up on the hill. I didn't find another adit or an open stope, but I did find what they're looking for. Okay, see this rock right here? Okay, that's granite. And you have a stringer of quartz running through right there, and another stringer of quartz running through right here. But now, let me see if I can get the camera in on it. Okay. Do you folks see, if you look right in there, those are silver sulfide crystals. Right in that vein, right there. Okay, this is what they're going after. And here's another example of the vein right there in that rock. Makes me wonder if this was a silver mine. I'm gonna work around this tree, and then I'm not gonna go any higher because we're past. Oh, wait a second. Look here. Just about the time I was gonna give up. Look at here, folks. Oh, and here's that collapse we found. Remember, we got further back up in there, and there was, when we took the right-hand route, and it all collapsed in. There it is. Okay. See that? Just about the time you give up. Well, we're not getting in there because we know what that's all about. We know where it goes. We got something else right here. They were digging, they were chasing something. Okay. And we got another one right over here. Let's see what this is. And I was just about ready to turn around. Okay. What do we have? Oh, just a prospect. They were peeling away the rock layers. Looking at that vein. There it is right there. Yep. Okay. Well, I just noticed over here. Well, I'm getting a workout today, huh? We got a little trail going off that way. I'm going to head off that way. Maybe we'll get lucky. Meet you over there. All right, I'm continuing up to draw, but I'm not finding anything else, folks. Not seeing any waste rock piles. Looking off to my right here. There's a road that switchbacks and goes up. You can see a big waste rock pile over there on that hill. So we're gonna have to check that out. But now going back to the mine that we just crawled out of. Remember when we got in there, we had a decision, we got to that three-way, we went left, straight, or right, okay? Now remember when I went left and there was that winds that shot all the way down? Okay, that is the access or the ore pass that is going down to meet up with that lower adit right above the trestle and ore bin. That's what that is. So that makes me wonder, even if we did dig out that lower adit, we know that it's an ore pass, so all we're going to do is just get down in there. It's going to flatten out and go straight until it comes into that decline, or that wind's going down where they passed the ore to the bottom and then took it out to the trestle. So it might not be worth, it's probably not worth digging that thing out. I don't know, I'm still contemplating it. But in the meantime, we have some other things around here I want to explore. There's another waste rock pile on that hill and another one way over there. So let's go do them first. I'll meet you back down by Old Bob. Back again, real quick, folks. I want to show you something. All right, we're back at that decline when we got down in there. Remember, it was collapsed. Okay. Now, one time they had some sort of a winch set up right here. Okay. And you see this tree here in front of me? Well, how many miners, you suppose, sat at the base of this tree and ate their lunch while they were working this winze or this decline right here? So after operations were all over with, they unbolted the winch and hauled it off down off the mountain. But the guy that unbolted it, he took the bolts, had them in his hand. He walked over to this tree. Look at this. And he set them in the crook of this tree right here. And here they lay after all these years, still sitting there. And they've been here so long, they're darn near, I'm not going to move them too much because they're almost like a part of the bark. But there they lay after all these years. I suppose there's still some more. Oh yeah, there's one right there. Yeah, right there. Kind of cool. Just goes to show you how old these trees are. Okay, working my way back off the mountain. All right, folks, I'm back down here at the lower adit. And the more and more that I looked the situation over, taking into consideration the size of the waste rock pile behind me, as well as how much money probably went into lumber building that ore bin and that trestle, all those clues kind of point towards this ore pass is maybe a lot larger than what I'm thinking it is. So with that said, there's really only one way to find out, and that's to start digging. All right, I'll meet back up with you folks when I get this thing big enough to get my fat boy body through the hole. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. All right, folks, so I just spent probably, I don't know, 30-40 minutes digging this thing out. I made a little pile here. I dug it out far enough where I could get my body down in here so I could at least poke the flashlight. Let me show you what we've got. I'll try to get in there for you. Look at there. They blew it up. It's all collapsed. See that? They had a bunch of square set timbering back in there. They probably set charges on the back of the mine and blew it up. Darn. So, well, there was only one way to find out, and that was to dig down in there. That's too bad, especially after moving this great big, look at the size of this boulder. I had to move out of there. That was a pain in the butt. Darn. Okay, well, time to pack all the tools back to old Bob, and we'll see if we can't find some more adits around this location. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, folks, I jumped back into old Bob, and we worked our way back down this dry wash. If you look way up on the hill up there, there's those waste rock piles. That's where we just came from. But we have another mine here off to my right. There's an old cabin right there. And then over here, there's supposed to be 3 shafts. So let's explore this and see if maybe we'll get lucky and one of those shafts is an incline that we can get into. But first, I'll meet you over there by that cabin. Okay, well, there's a little marker over here. Let's see what that's all about. Oh, Federal Mining Claim Corner Monument is what that says. Let's see what this old cabin's all about. Trying to read what it says on the door there. It's kind of hard to make out anymore. Okay. Now this is a cool thing. It's a cool cabin here. Yeah. So we had the miner's bed was right over here. That's where he would put his mattress. And a lot of stuff was brought in here later on. That's an oil can. Some Coleman fuel. A bunch of oh, they brought in some nails to tack up this tin looking stuff on the roof here. Okay, but nevertheless it collapsed. And over there's a dead pigeon. Okay. Huh. All right. Oops. An earthen cabin. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be walking on the ceiling of that. Okay, over there is the three shafts I was talking about. I'll meet you over there. All right, so a moment ago we were just right over there by that cabin. Now we're here by these shafts. Got an old stone structure here. With some artifacts that people have found exploring this area. Looking on the bottom of this. Trying to find a date. And that one doesn't have one. Nope. Okay. Over here is that shaft I was telling you about. And it's all, well, this is interesting. I don't know if I want to walk out onto that, folks. It looks pretty old. Yeah. It's a straight vertical shaft. Yeah, I'm not walking out onto that wood. No way. That's too dangerous. Let's go up here and see what else we have. Another one. We've got to be on somebody's patented claim here. This is, yeah, I can peek down through the crack. It's another vertical shaft. Again, I'm not going to walk out on that. There's supposed to be a third. Let's look up here. There's a third. Again, it's a straight vertical shaft. Go, boy. Yeah, I know you guys can't see down there. You have to take my word for it, but there's no way you'd want to walk out on that wood. Okay, well, that's it for here. No incline shafts to crawl into. It's back in old Bob. We're gonna work in behind this. Let's see, where is it? Oh, it's somewhere up here. I think it's behind this butte, and in behind where you see all of that lava rock, those layers up and over there. Yeah, so let's head over that direction. Meet you over there. All right, folks, we're back up on the hill. I took a drive up and over that basalt plateau where we just were, and once I got up and over the other side, I met up with this good fellow right here in front of us. He was coming down the hill, and I was headed back up. And so let me introduce you, folks. This is Dr. Walt Cosden. Dr. Walt, it's nice to meet you. And Walt here, he's got a mining claim right behind me, and he was working his claim today. So as I was headed up to explore those adits, he was coming down, and we met, and he said, "Hey, I've got a location I'd like to show you." So I followed him here, and lo and behold, yeah, we've got ourselves we got an old cabin right there, and then off to the right, there's an adit down below, so we'll be hitting that here shortly. But I want to show you guys something real quick. So Dr. Walt has a travel companion, and a pretty popular travel companion, and her name's Bambi. Let me show you who Bambi is. And some of you out there may know Bambi. Bambi is a really popular goat. But Bambi passed away here, what was it, 2 years ago. And Dr. Walt here, we had Bambi, you know, how would you say?
She went to the taxidermist, and what they didn't need, I took to a pet cemetery and had cremated.
Okay.
So when it came time for me to pick up, you know, the goat mold, you know, I made arrangements with them to put the cremains inside so that she would all be back together again.
I see. Okay.
Back when we used to travel, and she would go everywhere with me. The only place she couldn't go was like in a restaurant or into a market, you know, where they serve or sell food. Sure. But every place else we went together.
So Bambi is stuffed, but her cremated remains are inside. So her spirit may not be here, but Bambi's still with us, and Dr. Walt takes her everywhere he goes. I think that's pretty darn cool.
Well, she's been up to
Heck yeah.
She's been up to my mining claim for the 9 years that she was alive. And she loved it up there. So, well, when we would travel around together, because of the velour upholstery in the cab, the cab was mine, the bed of the truck, the camper, and the box were Bambi's.
That was Bambi's living space.
That was her space to travel. This was my space. Now we're both in the cab.
There you go. Well, too cool.
No accidents in the cab now. But Bambi was actually a house pet. She was housebroken. She lived in the house. We ate together. She slept in the bed just like a dog would, right alongside of me. And occasionally she'd jump into the shower with me. She actually likes the warm water.
No kidding.
Most goats are terrified of water because they can't swim. They swim like a rock, in and down.
But she jumped right in there with you.
Jumped right in with me, which was kind of amazing the first time, you know, because knowing that they are terrified of water, to have her jump into the shower with me.
Well, there you go, folks. That's the story of Bambi the goat, and Dr. Walt takes her everywhere he goes now, even in spirit. Well, that's pretty darn cool. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna peek through this cabin real quick, and then we'll follow you down over to the adit. How's that sound?
I first met the two gentlemen that had this claim back in the early 1970s. This is the only shelter on this section of the mountain.
I see.
So I was staying here, even though this was somebody else's claim, but I was maintaining the property.
Oh, okay.
I was taking care of the cabin, maintaining it, replacing broken windows,
Right.
patching holes in the roof, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first met the gentleman, I explained myself, I identified myself, I told them who I was, where my claim was, and they said they had no problem with it. They could see what I'd been doing,
Uh-huh.
So they said, treat it as you would your home.
Yeah, perfectly fine just to stay there. Yeah, they didn't mind one bit. That's cool.
I was paying for my rent.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I'd love to take a look at it. Let's head over here real quick. We'll look at that first.
But from everything I've been able to figure out, the two gentlemen that had it were Army buddies in World War II.
Oh, Army buddies from World War II? Yeah. That's who owned it?
A gentleman by the name of Wallace Knapp from Escondido and Fred Zimmerman from up in Tumwater, Washington.
Ah, okay.
And of course, both gentlemen are long gone now.
Sure.
They were in their 70s when I met them, and that was back in 1970. So.
Oh, and they even had a shower in the corner here.
Well,
kind of a make.
This is a later addition.
I see.
Whoever put it in has got rocks in their head. Because first off, everybody knows a shower is very wasteful of water.
Yeah.
Okay? On this mountain, this is a dry mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So any water that you're going to have up here, you have to import yourself.
Right.
So you're certainly not going to waste it on a shower.
That's a lot. That's hauling a lot of water up here just to take a shower and get fancy like that. Got some old bottles up there, and
there's a little hidey hole.
Oh, a little hidey hole. I wouldn't even have noticed that unless you showed it to me. Well, that's interesting.
It's where we used to keep
folks.
Supplies, keep water.
Yeah, good place to keep your supplies cool.
Yeah, keep cans of stove oil and kerosene and lantern fuel.
Okay. Let's look back. We'll turn it around this direction, folks. See, at one time they had a wood-burning stove in the corner there?
No.
No?
The wood-burning stove used to be over here.
Oh, okay.
And somebody stole a good cast iron stove.
Oh, yeah.
It was replaced with one of these little metal sheet burning stoves.
I see.
And somebody stole that.
Still got a cooler in the corner. Is it full of beer? Oh, darn it.
Where this table is, there used to be a stainless steel counter here.
I see.
Okay. There used to be an antique bedstead here. With springs. The old had the wire mesh.
Right.
With the springs holding it to the frame.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was one of those with the wrought iron head and footboard.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was here.
Okay.
This they just put here pretty much for decoration. You don't see riveted pipe made out of one long band of steel. No, that's... This is a lost, bygone art.
Yep, that's like around 1910, 1915 in that area is when they were using that for vent pipe in mines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you have another little hidey hole.
Oh, another little hidey hole door here. Oh, very cool.
It's got its own doorway. This is the other bedroom.
Very cool. Oh, there we go. I can squeak through that. There we go. And the other bedroom.
Yeah.
And as they did oftentimes, see all the cardboard on the walls, folks? That's cardboard from Dynamite boxes, oftentimes, they would use. And recycle it and use it for insulation.
Dynamite boxes and whatever they, kind of boxes that bring their groceries up.
Yeah, that too. Yep. Very cool. Okay, well, let's head on over to where the adit is.
Okay.
All right, I'll meet you over there. Pretty cool, folks. I'll meet you guys right over there. Okay, we're working our way over to the adit.
Right here, we had a really nice rock barbecue with a rock chimney, which ended up in a big piece of stovepipe, and it had a big 1/4 inch thick iron plate cook surface, and had a cast iron door for the wood feed.
Oh,
it was beautiful.
All
and
fancy.
It stayed here for many, many years.
Yeah.
Until some bozo stole the cast iron top.
Yeah, that's why in many of my videos I make sure that I try to not show where the area is, you know, because there's so many people that do that type of stuff.
Like my claim, I've had my road drag, which was nothing more than an old truck frame with a couple of 4x12 segments of steel bark stock bolted to the sides of the truck frame that I was using for a road drag. Somebody came up with a cutting torch, cut it up, and hauled it with a strap.
Jeez.
Come on, people, it's a road drag.
Oh boy. Yeah.
But this used to be nice out here, and you can see it's pretty much trash.
Yeah, they had this all set up real nice. Look at that.
This used to be beautiful.
Nice place to just get out of the sun.
Yeah, we used to have 2 big tables out here.
You
know, regular picnic style tables with the benches on either side.
Right.
And you can see what's out here now.
Interesting.
It's sorely lacking.
22 shell thing here. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep working on over to the adit, folks. I'll meet you over there. Okay. All right, folks. So me and Dr. Walt, we're headed over here to the adit. There's a few rocks in our way. Apparently there's some more erosion has occurred since the last time the old doc was here. Oh yeah, we can get into that. Heck yeah. You betcha.
It's going to be a little bit of a belly crawl for about the first 30 feet.
Okay. Crawling on the belly for a little ways, but we can skinny down in there. All right. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to switch out cameras real quick, and then I'll meet you over here, headed into the adit. Be back in a minute. All right, folks. Let's explore this old mine with Dr. Walt. Have to kind of skinny in here. I gotta set the camera down for just a moment, folks. Sorry about that. Alright. Now this one, we're gonna have to kind of skinny in on my belly here. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Boy, Dr. Walt, now I know what a prairie dog feels like. This section we're going through, folks, it's only about 2.5, 3 feet tall. And here in a moment I'll be able to yeah.
Tremendous amount of water. Because although the portal opening was maybe 4 foot tall, or maybe 4 foot tall, once you got past the slough,
yeah,
you could stand upright.
So
all of this is washed in here recently.
Yeah.
Which has probably been this last winter, since we had all the road erosion and everything.
Right, because you had a heck of a winter.
Yeah.
This last winter. I think I breathed in a bug.
Oh, fresh meat never hurt anybody.
Yeah, what's wrong with a little bit of fresh meat, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just follow you right on in here.
Okay, now this little drift right here used to be the powder storage.
Oh, okay. That was her powder storage.
Okay.
And then they stoped out.
Yeah.
A little bit of a stoped out area here.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Now, we come to the first junction. Okay, left goes to the shaft. Right.
Yeah, a little bit muddy here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now you got a little drift up here.
A little stoped out area going up there. And it looks like what they're burrowing into here, Doc, is a bunch of andesite.
Yeah.
It's all andesite.
See, here's your vein right here.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Look at all the silver sulfides running in that.
Yeah.
They're going after silver.
Yep.
Yep.
You
Okay.
See the thickness of it. We're going from, well, actually down into here.
Uh-huh.
And going all the way up to about
Right
here.
about there. So we're about 18, 20 inches
Yeah.
of sulfides. Very cool.
Okay.
All right. I'll keep following you in here. So I'm letting Doc go first because it kind of gives you folks a sense of scale.
And this is as far as it goes. Now, I normally stand 6'3", and I'm touching right now.
Just goes to show you how much erosion washed
Yeah.
from the outside washed into this thing over the years.
Okay. Now, not the last time that I was in, but the time before that,
Uh-huh.
which would have made it about 5 years ago. Now, I normally do the maintenance on this property.
Okay.
Okay. When I check the side drift here, first off, this what's sloughed out here from that little stope down,
Right.
from there all the way back into here, was loaded with over 100 cases. I'm talking brand new cases of dynamite.
No kidding.
No kidding. And I saw that, and whoops, and
Oh, yeah.
back out.
Yeah.
And somebody's doing some work here.
So somebody must have come in and they removed that.
Well, what I can't figure is we still had the junk pile like we do now
Yeah.
over the top of the shaft, and the portal was sloughed down to where it was just barely a 3.5 to 4 foot opening. So how they moved that 100 cases of dynamite in, I don't know.
I'm glad it wasn't me doing it.
Somebody had a hell of a lot of work to
Oh,
do.
geez. No kidding. Let's go back over here and take a look at... let's look over here at the shaft, folks. I'll let you walk in there first, Doc, so
Okay.
give the audience kind of a sense of scale. That's neat.
And this really going to hell in a handbasket.
Boy, I'd say so.
Because the manway used to have a full set of ladders coming all the way down, going all the way down to the bottom. There's actually a second level down below this one.
Okay.
And it's another 100 feet down, which, as you can see, is totally inaccessible.
Yeah, totally blocked off, and it looks like that drift goes a little ways further, but that's about it.
Well, it goes back another 75 feet or so. Okay.
Sorry for all the coughing, folks.
Here's your cross stope here. This connects over to the other stope. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Here's a little peekaboo through. Here's your vein
There's your vein.
right there. But this connects to what that big stope opening that we were looking at from the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Okay.
Huh. All right.
Okay. Now, when this was intact, the manway compartment was isolated from the shaft compartment by this lagging right here. Okay? This 1x8.
Uh-huh.
So, you couldn't reach from the manway and put your hand into the main hoisting compartment. You couldn't do it.
I see.
It was solid lumber.
Okay.
Now, right here, there used to be a little trap door that would lift up against the boards here
Uh-huh.
to allow you access to hoist up and down through the floor.
Right. That's...
So basically it was a false floor. But anybody that knew anything about this mine knew it was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now you have a whole bunch of debris that's come down and fallen and it's laying on top of that false floor.
Yeah.
And so you're saying that goes down probably, another
100 feet.
Another 100 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to maybe get over there and explore that drift, but I'm not sure if I want to walk across all that debris. That's probably too dangerous. Because that drift on the other side, it only goes for another 40 feet. 30, 40 feet, and that's it.
Well, actually, it goes around the corner a little bit.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Does it go around the corner?
Yeah. It goes back a ways.
Okay.
But you're not missing anything.
Yeah, probably not missing anything.
Yeah,
it's not.
You can actually see where it goes around the corner there.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, probably not a good idea to put any more weight on top of this false floor. Yeah.
I didn't even like walking across it when it was just a trap door.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I will follow you out. I'm going to let you go first, so the audience has an idea of the scale of things.
If you want to take a look here.
Okay.
See the sheaves in the posts?
Yeah.
These are the two gin poles that used to be up on the surface.
Oh, there's the gym pole pulley things.
Yeah,
And these.
Those are the rope pulleys.
These are the gym poles that were up on the surface.
Hello, Bat.
Yeah, we got one in here. Yep.
Flying mouse.
The flying mouse. They're our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, they eat the bugs.
They threw those gin poles down in the hole.
Yep.
Okay. Very cool. All right, I'm going to circle back this way. Oh, I got a big old breath of... There's our bat, friendly neighborhood bat. Big breath of either dust or bugs, folks. That's why it was hacking up a lung.
Hello.
There he is.
Now,
what do you know, Mr. Bat?
have you ever petted a bat?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, they feel just like petting a mouse.
Just petting a mouse.
Yeah, just exactly like petting a mouse.
And in our last episode, well, if it was the last or a couple back, we had one and he was just screeching his head off, making all sorts of noise.
Yeah. And most of the time, the noise that bats make is right at the border of beyond the point of being able to be heard by humans.
Right.
Okay, it's such a high-pitched tone.
Yep.
Okay, that they use for their sonar. But they do make a screeching sound that can be readily heard by people.
Yeah, the one we found, I think he was feasting on crickets. And, boy, he was just making all sorts of racket. When I first got into the adit, I thought that it was a rattlesnake. Okay. All right, folks, back to the fun part here. We got to work our way back on our bellies. Yeah, look at all this andesite. Oh, I just breathed in another bug. Golly. Well, I won't have to eat lunch today.
Do you think they might be suggesting something to you? Like keeping your mouth shut?
My audience knows that I'm a big-time mouth breather.
You and me both. I've got COPD, so I do breathe through my mouth.
Yes, sir. I always complain about that I'm making my audience listen to all my huffing and puffing. You see how small this thing is, folks? Welcome to the world of abandoned mine exploring. I almost got her. Alright, I think it's our turn. Sorry about all the bumpy camera footage. Folks, I'm doing my best. Set that there for a moment. Boy, what a day for crawling in and out of mines. That's the second one today. Oh. Oh. All right, folks. We're going to catch our breath. I'll be right back. Okay, back again, folks. Made it out of the adit with Doc here, and that's going to have to do it for today's episode. What do you think, sir? That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we're going to have to...
That adit, a lot of materials come in there since the last time I came in.
Yeah, she was pretty choked off, but we scooted in our bellies and we got into it. Now, I just want to let everybody know, Doc here is 73 years old, okay? And he scooted down into that adit on his belly and got back up into that mine and showed you folks the rest of that mine. So I'm just pointing that out because I want to let you folks know that even when you're old, you're not really old. It's only in your head. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, sir. All right, well, I'm going to get on out of here. And, Doc, I may meet you again sometime down the road. Right. And we'll stay in touch. And you betcha. And we'll stay in touch in the comments section on the channel. So, all right, folks. Well, I thank you all for coming along. And as always, I appreciate my new subscribers. Thank you so much for coming on board each and every weekend. And I'm not quite sure where we're going to head off to next weekend. I guess it's going to be a surprise, but I'll see you folks then. Okay, you guys take care now. Bye-bye.